Google has just introduced Gemini 2.5 computer use model, and it's available in preview through the API. And it's a specialized model built on Gemini 2.5 Pro to power agents that can interact with user interfaces. In terms of comparison, we can see that the new computer use model on the online Mind 2 Web benchmark has hit 69%, compared to OpenAI's computer use agent model, which is just at 61%. Also compared to Claude Sonnet 4, which is just at 61%, the Gemini 2.5 computer use is at 65.7%. So this model definitely promises much more than the OpenAI model or the Claude model, and it seems to specialize in computer use. And even in terms of latency and quality, we can see that Gemini 2.5 has the least latency, as low as 225, and the accuracy is also higher. The ideal point being in the right bottom, which is we have highest accuracy and the lowest latency. We can see that the OpenAI model is on the top left. The new Gemini 2.5 computer use is on the bottom right. So in this video, let's see how it works. And we will also check out and play around with this computer use preview code, and we will run it locally to perform some actions on the browser. So let's get started. So let's see how it works. So it works using the computer use tool, which is now part of the Gemini API, and it should be operated with a loop. When they say with a loop, all that we have to do is we need to write a loop that implements this one, which is that you have an initial task and you start with the screenshot and the preview context, probably by providing a prompt, and then we send that as a request to the model, and the model processes the request, comes up with a response, of course, and then it goes to a computer environment, which is the client application. The client application receives an action, and probably some action is performed on it, and the third step is to execute the received action, and the computer environment, which is again the client app, is going to capture the new environment state and then pass it to the screenshot and preview context, which is going to close the loop. And this loop will execute on and on, and we can define the number of times this loop is going to execute in order for the task to be completed that we define initially. So that is pretty much the computer use model flow. So they've given this nice demo where the computer use opens the browser, and in the browser it opens this page, and we can see the drag and drop action being performed in the logs through function call. And we can also see the drag and drop happening in the user interface in the browser. Let's go ahead and code this and see this in action ourselves in our local machine. So let's get started. Let's get started by creating a virtual environment. Conda create new, let's say comp use, and Python 3.12. So that's creating a virtual environment. Let's activate the virtual environment. Let's now head to the GitHub page and clone the code for computer use, which is obviously in preview. So git clone. Let's install the requirements. So we can see that we have successfully installed browser base. The most important bit is the Google Gen AI 1.42, which we have installed. So open the requirements and see what is needed. So we can see that we need Playwright, we need Google Gen AI. So these are the two most important bits. So we also need Chromium, but we will have to install it using Playwright. So let's say Playwright install Chromium. That is going to install Chromium for us. It's already installed in my machine, so it's not doing anything, but actually we have to run this command if you don't have Chromium. In terms of how the model works, they've given a couple of examples. For example, there's one prompt here and the result in a video, and there's a second prompt here and the results are also in the video. Let's see the first prompt. From this URL, get all the details for any pet call with a California residency and add them as a guest in my spa CRM at this URL. Then set up a follow-up visit appointment with a specialist for October 10th anytime after 8 a.m. So basically we need to pull data from this and then update in this system. So let's see how it does. So we can see that the browser is now opened and it's pulling data from this Excel sheet, and it's opening the pet spa website, and it's trying to fill the form there. It's filling in the first name, last name, the calendar. And on the right, we can also see the different actions that are going, the function calls that are executing. For example, click at, type text at, and it's typing the owner's phone number. We can see that it's typing the requested treatment, and it's going to save on click save client, and it's going to click, it has clicked save client. Now it's looking into the calendar to fix an appointment. It's now selecting a time after 8 a.m. of course. I think it's chosen 8:15 a.m., which is fair. Now it's going to choose a type, which is a follow-up visit, and it's going to click, it's going to give some reason, and it's going to schedule an appointment. So that was the prompt in action. Now let's go ahead and implement that. So let's refer back to the documentation to understand how the computer use works. They have given 4 steps basically. So we have to send the request to the model. We have to receive the model response. We have to execute the received action, and we have to capture the new environment state. So that's pretty much the same figure we saw at the beginning of this video. The first step is to kind of get the installations right. So we installed Google Gen AI and Playwright, and we installed Chromium, and then we need to initialize some Playwright browser instance. So that's to kind of set the screen width and screen height and everything. Then the first step obviously is to send a request to the model. This is pretty much, initializing the client, which is from Gen AI. If needed, we can also specify which functions we want to exclude, and we'll have to configure Gen AI. For example, we need to say tool, and we need to say computer use dot types.computer use and the environment browser. And we also need to say which functions we want to exclude. For example, we don't want to use drag and drop actions, so we want to exclude that in the config. And finally, we have the list of tools, which is in the generate content config. And we need to create the content with user message, which is going to be the prompt. So that is going to be your content with the user message. And then give the content, we give the config, and obviously the model, which is computer use preview model, and we get the response, and we print the response. So this is step 1, which is sending request to the model. The next step is to receive the model response. The model response is obviously going to be in this format, which is a JSON format. So once we get the response, we need to execute the received action. And for that, the main function is the execute function call. There could be different function calls. So we iterate through all the function calls. If it's a open browser thing, we say that it's already open, so we just have to pass. And for each of the actions, let's say if you want to click at or type text at, and we need to exactly denormalize the location as to where exactly the mouse has to be clicked, so the actual y and x coordinates. And this denormalize function is based on the screen width and screen height. Of course, if you're working on a laptop, the value is going to be different, but if you're working on a 27-inch monitor, that is going to be different. Once we have calculated that, we have to wait for the navigation or the rendering of the page, and we are catching any exceptions, and finally we are returning the results. So that's pretty much the execute the received action step. And the fourth step is going to be capture the new environment state. For this, we're going to write a function which is get function response. We need the page and the results, which are the actions. So we first take a screenshot and we iterate through the results, and for each of the result, we are saying that the function response is that of types.function response, the name, and the parts, which comes from the screenshot data. And eventually we return the function response. So these are the 4 main components for actually implementing this. So we got the computer use code checked out here in VS Code. I'm just going to add a file. Let's say run.py. So the next step is to build the agent loop. So building the agent loop is nothing but putting together all these 4 steps that we just saw. So basically they've given a script in the documentation as to how we can go about it. So I'm just going to start by copying that. So I'm putting it in my script. So I've put it here, and we can see that the main things that we need to add are these 4 functions. So these are the functions that, for example, the execute function call and get function response are the ones that we saw in step 3 and 4. So I'm going to add those in as well. So instead of these 3, we're now going to have those functions. We now have to add the get function response, which is the step 4, of course. So I'm going to change that. So now we have all the 4 steps, and essentially we need to give the prompt here. So we can see that we need to give the initial page here from the prompt. and we need to give any user prompt here. So I'm going to edit this one, and I'm also going to edit this one and provide the page URL here. So I've changed the page URL to tinyurl pet care sign up, which is from the prompt. And for the user prompt, I'm giving the prompt, which is about the get care sign up, get all the details of any pet with a California residency, output all the information you find in a clear, readable format. Instead of complicating to multiple steps, I'm just going to get the details and I'm just going to output the information that we find in a readable format. And this is the loop for the agent. We are limiting it to 5, and we can see that we are first getting the response. So if we have any function calls, we execute those function calls and eventually also the function responses, and we do this in an agent loop. So this is the main agent loop, and once we are done, we clearly close the browser and close Playwright. So the moment of truth, let's go ahead and execute it. I've come back to the terminal. We can also run using the terminal in VS Code, but somehow I tend to do this. So python run.py. So it's initializing the browser. Hopefully it'll open. There you go. So it's opened the browser. We can see that it's just opens this spreadsheet, and it now has to pull something to do with the California. So it has pulled the details. It says, I have found one pet with California residency and extracted all its details. I will now format and provide the answer, and it's simply providing the answer. So that is all that I wanted to show today about Gemini 2.5 computer use. Seems to be super cool, and I know it's just the beginning, and we already have 500 stars and 65 folks, and it's just been 2 days since this has been released. So let's wait and watch the space and see where we get to. Until then, I'm signing off, and I will see you in my next. Take care.